and queens. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm still all down, because of what's happening or what has been brought to light with the slave trade. It's really, really sad, and it's something that I've been thinking about every single day. I'm like, there has to be something that I can do. There has to be something. And I hope that you're also asking yourself that question, because that's the most important question. How can you try to change this? How can you try to stop this? And by stopping this, I don't mean just stopping what's happening in Libya, but stopping the future from going through the same thing again. Because this happened in the past, and somehow it has emerged again. So definitely in the future, it might pop up its head if we don't really close the box and lock it up or something, or burn it. How can I help this situation? What can I do to also help? Are the things that I keep thinking about. And I've seen a lot of things on memes and blogs writing about it and what they think of it, and how they think you can help. I think all those ways are important, finding a way to really help the situation going there. But I think that the main problem is how to stop the movement. How do we stop it? Because as much as we see it as it's so wrong, I'm sure if you go deep inside somewhere in the village, in the bush, they would say it's right. I want to go, sign me up. If you show them what's going on and you ask them if they will still go, I'm sure there are a lot of people who say yes, I'll risk it. There are. So I think that the problem is, yes, we can try as much as possible to tackle the issue. Like, I saw one meme and they say, call the UN, call them. I'm like, call what? So I'm running my business and you are calling me. How is that going to stop me from running my business? Because you are calling my phone. I mean, I get it that it's, we want to do something, but it's not going to work like that. This is the time to sit down, to plan, to realize that, wow, we really need to do something. It's a wake-up call. We might not be able to save everyone that has been sold. I don't think we can save everyone who has already been sold, or people who are already in slavery somewhere around the world through this thing. But we can stop the future generation from getting there, because if they are doing it now, then in future it'll be a lot. We will just be giving birth and the kids will be going. And I don't know, but it really saddens me. So I in my own way, the reason why I'm passionate about what I do, because all I do is share the good side of Africa, even the things that people do not appreciate, because I think it's important. I think that just because you don't appreciate it doesn't mean I won't appreciate it. We all have different tastes. So some don't, but some will. And I, for one, love it. I, for one, love going to the huts and going into the village and just seeing how peaceful they live. I'm very grateful for the fact that I have another opportunity or another world to turn to. So going there, it's not just about going to look. It's also something for me. And that's what I share for you, because it reminds me of what is important in life. Like spending time with your children and all that. Anytime I go into the villages, I always learn something about, getting connected to your children. I always learn something. I feel like, because some of them, they understand that that's the power. So whatever the mother is feeding is what the child, that's why things can go on for generations and generations. And so when I come back to the city, I try my best to be a better mother. I question myself. I say, are you doing this and doing this and doing this? So I always try and make different or create different paths to make me a better mother. And that is one. So for me, going to the village is not just anything, you know. I think it's a connection, and we should share that more. Why not? You know, I do share some nice stuff too, don't I? Anyway. Water is life. Water is life. It's really good. Anyway, so back to how we can stop this slavery. What can you do as you're home right now, as you're so busy traveling the world, you know, just trying to make a living for your family? What can you do to stop these things? I have put down three points that I want to share. I have been sharing with you for about a year now, but this time I just think it's something that we need to talk about and maybe remind ourselves. So the big question for me was, how can Africans stop this slave trade? What can we all do from all over Africa, all the 54 different countries? What can we all do to stop this from happening? Because once it's happening to them, it's happening to us. It will eventually eat up. It's like water. Once you pour it, it's going. It might take long to get there, but it will get there. You know, so the first thing I put together was, number one, we need to be more patriotic. You know, patriotic of our countries, patriotic of the whole of Africa. We all need to be patriotic. We need to love our countries. And the only way we can love our countries is by loving ourselves. We first need to love ourselves to understand that this is where I am from. This is what I am made of. You can't take that away. It is what you are made of. Once we love who we are and where we are from, I don't think this will happen. Why is this happening here? Because we don't love ourselves. We don't think that what we have is good enough. We are thinking that there's something better out there. And it's all because of love, I think. It's love. So for me, loving who we are, loving our country will help us as a whole to love Africa. And once we love Africa, we won't want to go anywhere. We would like to stay here and work, because that's what everybody else is doing. Everybody is working in their country to build their country. But we're so used to going there. It's all part of it. You know, we shouldn't be so hard on the people there. I get it. The last time I did the video, some of you pointed out some views, and I really liked the angle you were thinking, and I learned a lot from that. Thank you for that. So I feel like we shouldn't be so harsh on them, because this is something that happened to our generations. It's going to take a while for it to just wipe off. But once we think about it, once we know that, look, this thing that I'm going to do is going to affect my country, don't do it because of money. I always ask myself those questions. You have to think of yourself. You have to think of Ghana. You have to think of Zimbabwe. You have to think of South Africa. You have to think of the country itself. Then you think of Africa. And look at we all know the great things that we have. You know them. So we need to start, you know, speaking that into existence. You know, I want to come home. I am going to come home one day. I'm going to move home one day. Speak it into existence. Let Mama Africa hear it. You know, because it's crying right now. Speak it and let the universe open the way for you to come home and love your country well. You can, now there's the internet. You can set up a business there and it'll be helping people here. Or you can set up something by teaching people. You can have a webinar. You know, they have all this Facebook Live. And, you know, it could be a community. And the children can meet once a month and listen to you read a story to them. I don't know. Think of Ghana. Think of Africa. You don't have to Stop what you are doing at all, because you need what you are doing to be able to sustain you and your family, yes. But think of it small, like always think of it. When you are cooking, when you are everything, think of it. You know, that was the first thing. What is my, oh, okay. I like writing in papers, I don't know why. Okay, so number 2 is eat, wear, and read African. All of us. We need to make it a conscious effort to eat more African food, or should I say locally grown food. We need to, because if we don't eat it, if we don't wear it, if we don't use it and it's ours, who is going to come and use it for us? How are we going to build our economy? You see, other people are giving us a service and we are paying for it. And unfortunately, money is what runs the world right now. So if you're paying for something, you're getting more of it. It gives you more power to grow. And as a country, we need that. As a continent, we need that. So we need to start eating our own food, our own rice, because Africans, we eat rice. You see, we love rice. We love it, even rice alone. You know, other people should find ways of making the rice we have more innovative. I don't know how they make perfume rice. We should have brown African perfume rice, or Ghana perfume rice, or something. I don't know. But we need to eat our food. We need to eat our vegetables. You see, we should be able to buy rice from Senegal, let's say. How about we taste Senegal rice and we like it? So that means we don't need to go all the way outside the continent to buy rice. At least it stays here. Or another country's rice, or Mali. And then we mix it, we trade, then Mali comes for our cocoa. I know all these things just sound funny, but we can do it. They sound big and like, okay, how are you going to do that? No, we can do it once we start in our kitchens. Once we say, okay, this rice I'm eating, where is it from? Ask yourself that question. Because you are thinking of Ghana. You are thinking of yourself. You look at the health benefits. We just, you know, sausages are everywhere. Where are sausages from? Honestly, what are they made of? They look so... I don't eat them. I'm scared of them. Honestly, sausages scare me. Especially the sausages in our country. Because I don't know what is in it. You see, and the children like it once they taste it somewhere. I want it. And then by the time you realize you are buying it for your children, and then what else? You are hurting your own country. The sausage is coming from somewhere. You don't even know what's inside. Me, I don't know what's in the sausage. Until I know that it is meat and it's this and this and this, okay, I might give it a try. But those sausages are so fine. Anyway, we are not talking about sausages, but you get the picture, right? I just get really emotional. Anyway, so wearing African, try to wear as much African as you can, and think about wearing African in every way, from your skin to your mouth, to your hair, to your accessories. At least buy something African. Think Ghanaian, think Nigerian, think Zimbabwean, think something. I love to wear African because I'm like, if I don't buy it, who will buy it? And how would this man be able to feed his family? That's how I think. I think of who is going to benefit from all this. You see, so, and I want to help Africa, I want to help Ghana, but I'm not going to do it alone. I can't be wearing all the African dresses, like really. I can't. Look at how small I am. How much can I wear? You can wear more than me. So if we come together, we can wear, we can build that industry. It starts with buying that bracelet, buying that comb. This is my comb. This is my comb. This is the comb I use on my hair. I love it. Yes, it can be made of plastic. It can have all these beautiful things on it. Yes, but it's still a comb, and it's pretty, it's okay. What is it? And it was made by hand. Somebody did it. It means that somebody needs something. He needs an exchange. He needs money. So he's making this in the hopes that somebody would like it. And the more we buy these things, right now it may look like this, but in the near future, it's not going to look like this. So buy it. Try and have African around you. Your bowls, your napkins, something. You might not like African, but just try one thing. Your teacup, just one thing. Read African books. You know, be interested in African books and literature. And you might not like literature, but okay, if you like science, look for the African version. If you like fashion, look for the African version. You have to. This dress that I'm wearing is very African. I try my best to wear African. I'm wearing it again because it's a local designer, and I just like it. It's different. You see, my slippers are African. I try. And because I try, even some people say I'm overdoing it. I'm not overdoing it. I like it. That's why I'm doing it. And I see the importance of doing it. I think of the importance of doing this. I think of generations to come. And somehow that should linger in your brain. Don't force it, or else it's not going to last. Do not force being African. In order for you to love it, in order for you to love your country, you need to know more about your country. Once you start to know more and understand your country, you will love it for what it is and find ways to make it better. And number 3 is teach our children. We need to teach our children some kind of African. And I'm only using the word African because we are so different, but we are still one. You see, we are so different, but we are still one. There are still values and things that we believe in and we hold dear to our hearts and we are proud of, and our hair all looks the same. You see, we are one. So all the little things that will make a little girl proud to be Zimbabwean, it starts in the house. The mothers, we mothers, it's our responsibility. You see, find a way. There's the internet. Once a week, you might not like African storybook, but just think of Africa. Think of the fact that you need to create a memory in your child's mind for her not to think that there is better. She can create here. If you believe in these things, you have to teach your children. By the time they are 18 and being able to make critical decisions, they have Africa at the back of their head. You see, you take an example, you take America. You know, I have a nephew who is American and he schools there and everything. And anytime I go there, I try to teach him stuff about Ghana. And I say, oh, Ghana is this and Ghana is that. He will be telling me things about America. He's also very proud. And mind you, he's 5 or 6. He can tell me so much about America and how proud he is of this country and the White House and this. You know, there was a day I said that Ghana is the best country in the world. He said, no, auntie, that is wrong. America is the greatest country in the world. He told me that. He's 6 or 5 at that time. And I was like, wow. I have not met a Ghanaian child who says that. And I'm not saying it to demean. I love Ghana. You see, I love Africa. But we need to put it in our children. You see, I tell my children all the great things because that's what they need to hear now. When they grow up, they'll find out ways to figure out the problem, and you know, but now they need to hear all the great things about the country. They need to be proud of it. You see, so we need to teach our children, teach them how to eat African food, teach them about the leaves we eat. It starts from home, from the food, what they drink, what they put on their skin, on their body, their clothes, their hairstyle. It starts with those things, the hairstyle. You see, it starts with those things. If you relax your child's hair, by the time she grows up, she's not going to like natural hair. For where? Why would you tell her that natural hair is better, even if she's getting cancer or she's balding? She's not. Because you've trained her to like thin hair. Do not do that. You know that even if it's not even for the African thing, do it for the health benefits. I mean, relaxing a child's hair. I know that our hair is hard and all, but you know, that can just go into their brain or whatever. We need to start from home. Reading, eating, singing, letting them love, African music. Play some music, drums. There's the internet, research. Open up to your children. They are the power. We will not be able to save everyone in Libya, and we should not even think of saving everyone. We should have a goal of bringing those that are there back, but we should figure out a way of stopping it, stopping more people from going, because that is where the power is, the people who are going, and they start from the children. So we need to focus. It's like you can't blame anybody for this. It's we African mothers, blame African mothers. We are the ones to blame. I'll take blame. I'll take blame. If it, so we have to do better, and we have to teach each other. I have an auntie, my auntie, my auntie Bobo. She's in Tamale, and Bobo is so knowledgeable. She's really good with all these indigenous herbs, and she Sheabutter. Look, she's knowledgeable. And what Bobo likes is to go into rural areas and teach, village women how to make, let's say, better Sheabutter. Better. This is a safari Sheabutter. This is the one we mix with indigenous herbs. So this has been in our culture for years. This is something that needs to be preserved. Even if it doesn't work for other skin tones, for us here in Ghana, it works for us. And we should be proud of it. We need to be absolutely proud. So my auntie Bobo goes all the way to the village, and she teaches these women how to innovate what they have, what she has learned. How to make moringa oil, how to make sesame seed oil. If the village is very good with, grows a lot of sesame seeds or grows a lot of mango, she might teach them how to make mango oil, or how to make, sun-dried mangoes, the dried fruits. She teaches them, and this is what gives her joy. But if you just look at it the way it is, all you see is faults, because you'll be complaining. But once the love is there, once you understand that I need to buy, this coconut oil because it's made here, and it's important for me to sustain that farmer who is plucking or growing this coconuts in order to take his children to school, because in the long run, that is where it leads. It's like a rope. We're all linked to it. If I don't buy it, maybe he cannot pay his children's school fees. And then what? And then one more person will end up in Libya. So let's just think of Africa more every day, kings and queens. Let this for me is not just fun. I know I make it fun and all, yes. Hi, kings and queens. Like, a lot of people do that to me when they see me. They're like, hi, kings and queens. I'm like, I don't sound like that. Okay? First of all, don't be saying it in your nose, because I don't sound like that. But it's because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being African, being as black as I can, as African as I can. Because why not? What have I got to lose? When I accept myself, I've only got to gain. So we all need to be aware that we are all a part of the problem, especially we mothers. We buy for the house, buy local, tableware, buy local plates. I don't want to mention names, but if we keep buying from other countries, that's what's gonna happen. We keep buying, it's just going to overflow. We'll just be pouring and pouring and pouring. You see there's a little water in there. We're pouring, and now look, the water is almost done. we're gonna fill this with trash, honestly. So we also need to have something to give, and let's give quality. Let's buy made in Ghana. Let's buy made in Africa. Let's always look for a made in Ghana alternative. Let's always look for a made in Africa alternative. We need it. We need to consciously remind ourselves. We all need to remind ourselves. We are in charge, especially as mothers. This is what we can do. And I urge all of you queens, you are queens, you are the head of your homes, you are the head of your families, you are the one who feed our children, you are the one who direct our children. Please inspire them. Add a little African in everything you do. Add a little Ghanaian in everything you do. Don't just stop buying those sausages. God. The only way to stop slavery is in the home. It starts from home. The books you buy your children, what you allow them to watch. Control it. You have control. If you really want to do something, start from home. Eat African, sleep African, listen African, think African, wear African, choose one thing. Read African, choose one thing. And do it African, and do it proud. That's the way we are going to stop this. That's the way we are going to fight this. And I hope you join me. Leave your comments, kings and queens. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.